new thing that's going to be really driving a lot of narratives and conversation and voter suppression efforts to some extent in this upcoming election. For folks who don't know, explain to them what a meme is.
Sure. A meme is essentially just a short piece of content, aimed at communicating a simple message. So it can be a short video. It's often a short piece of text and an image, almost like a political cartoon.
And how is it weaponized to achieve a political end? And what are those political ends that we've seen in recent months?
Well, memes use humor to introduce new ideas, and often these ideas can be very insidious and problematic. Memes in 2016 were used throughout Facebook and Instagram to spread misinformation. So, basically Russian interference. Memes are also usually hyper-partisan. So what gets shared the most on Facebook and Instagram are these, very, very far left, very far right memes promoting misinformation.
And David, one of the things that's so interesting and I think sinister about this stuff is that it really does have the impact of trying to increase cynicism and apathy. That's part of its goal, to sort of muddy the waters. Tell us a little bit about your insights into that.
Well, it has an effect also on people's affirmative ideas. One of the things that Donald Trump tried to spread in 2016 was the idea that Hillary Clinton was somehow physically incapable of managing the presidency. I mean, it's audacious. Donald Trump was the oldest president ever, one of the fattest presidents ever, the least physically capable president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in a wheelchair. I mean, he can't pick up a ball, never mind throw it. But he was able to put into the minds of tens of millions of people the idea that Hillary Clinton, who's a very vigorous woman in good health, was somehow too sick to be president.
Right. One of many examples. We've certainly seen a lot around impeachment as well. And this, folks, is just the beginning. Now, in other news, I want to get to this. The Washington Post is revealing the partisan power struggles at play inside Facebook's attempt to monitor disinformation. Quote, a company led mainly by Democrats in the liberal bastion in Northern California repeatedly has tilted rightward to deliver policies, hiring decisions and public gestures sought by Republicans. So this is a fascinating story. I'm going to go, Taylor, to you on this because it shows the debate inside. They've confronted fake news, but made decisions at critical moments not to try to take it offline for fear of alienating conservatives and appearing biased, even though what they're trying to remove is biased disinformation.
Yeah, they're in this really tricky situation and essentially walking a tightrope because they don't want to alienate the president and Congress and people that could potentially, regulate them. But then at the same time, by, leaning too far that way, you have people like Elizabeth Warren calling people, calling for Facebook to be broken up and things like that. So they're just trying to not anger each side, and they've ended up angering everyone.
Errol, final word?
This is what happens when you don't have some basic journalistic values about truth, about willingness to tell people, even though it's not going to be to our financial advantage, even though you're going to yell and scream and accuse us of bias, we're going to do the right thing. They could really learn a lesson from a lot of newspapers, some of them very small, not nearly as powerful in their day as Facebook is now, who stood up to the local county courthouse or stood up to the folks in the state house and said, we're going to say what's true, because that's how we find out that there's poisoned water in Flint, Michigan, or important issues that really have to be surfaced. It's not a profile in courage, and the fact that they get richer by avoiding these tough questions is something that we should really sort of push to the forefront. It's very convenient to sit in a nice conference room and say, oh, we don't want to be seen as biased, and by the way, our stock will go up if we make this decision.
Do the right thing. What a concept. All right, Errol Lewis, Taylor Lawrence, and David Frum, thank you very much for joining us. Up next, Bloomberg campaign advisor Tim O'Brien, the man who literally wrote the book on Trump, joins me to discuss how he's using his unique insights into Trump's personality to get under his skin.